What's up everyone, this is Killervztwo and welcome to another How to Dominate multiplayer featuring Dying Light. This is part 2 of the How to Defend Against Being Invaded, and here I'll show you doing it solo. The last time I showed you doing it co-op, which for all things considered is easier, and here's me doing it single player. I will say this, I don't know if this is just a bad guy playing, or he wasn't a very high level. He doesn't use spits, he doesn't use ground pound, but the things I'm going to be talking about, you know, they still hold up. It's just I absolutely, well, dominate him here, and with someone that's a little higher level, has played a little bit more, you know, it'd be a much closer match, but all the tips and tricks I'll be saying here should, you know, they carry over to playing with better people. Again, like last time, I tried to find a couple videos. Tried to record this a couple times, but they were all about this level, and I just felt of the several I recorded, this was the best one. So yeah, let's just start out here. A lot of carryover from the other one, but here I finished him off with the shotgun. Okay. Here's what you want to do. You want to always have your flashlight out. You don't want to be traveling on rooftops too much. You want to try sticking to the ground. And you definitely want to have flares, and you kind of want to have a gun as a backup. You saw there I had the shotgun as a backup, just if they start running and you think you can finish them off. I do not recommend using it as like your primary defense. Guns against them really are more for harassing them, keeping them at a distance than actually fighting them. But as you can see just a little bit ago, I was able to finish him off, which is nice. Basically, my strategy is stick to the ground. These indoor tunnel areas are good. Always have your UV ready. Flares, as soon as I get to a nest, I whip out flares and throw them. Gives you a nice cover. But here I can hear him real close by, so I kind of go looking for him a little bit. And again, even just one human, if you know how to properly defend, you can easily manage one night hunter, which, I mean, you can't ever have more than one, but what I like, yeah, if you know what you're doing, and specifically, like I said, this guy wasn't that good. Really, as a human, you just have to watch out for spit, pounce, and his ground pound. But I haven't found many people that know how to juggle that well. Here he gets a lucky pounce on me. I thought he was still going to be running away for a little bit, but doesn't matter. I finished this game with a lot of leftover lives. Speaking of which, you have twice the lives as there are nests. So basically, as long as you can take out a nest without losing 2 lives every nest, you're good. And here I think I die like once each nest until the very last one. So that's a very good average. Here, you know, you zap them. Always be ready, because you do have when you first get wrapped by his pounce, you have a little bit of time. Always just immediately kick on that flashlight, and sometimes you can hit him. And that saves you a lot. But here, I don't bother throwing the flare down because he's dead. And he has a good 10 seconds or so before he's back. And your guy always has some sort of auditory cue that he's back. The music will kind of kick back on, and he'll say something along the lines of, "Oh, I can feel it's still here," or something like that. So until you hear that, you know you're pretty safe. I will also say this, in this son, he had some lucky spawns that as soon as he spawns, he's like right near me, because I usually give it a couple seconds.
It's out there. Somewhere.
In fact, I think, yeah, right here. He had just spawned, and somehow he was spawned on a building above me. You usually have several seconds at least before they catch up to you and stuff. I just didn't think he'd be that close to me, so I wasn't really prepared for it.
It's still here.
Try not to abuse safe zones, because they're not really safe zones. He can still kill you inside of them. If he pounces you when you're in a safe zone, it does not kick him off of you. And he'll get the kill, but he'll immediately die afterwards. But for a zombie, that's totally worth it. Unless you're playing multiplayer. But if it's one-on-one, do not be hiding in safe zones. Do not be abusing them, because he will get you. As you can see, I'm not using a great weapon here. I can kill him in 3 hits. The weapon I'm using is not very good on nests. I recommend a weapon with electricity damage. For whatever reason, electricity absolutely dominates the nests. Even if it's a small or a medium electricity, you can kill nests 2-3 times faster. So I would definitely recommend using that. As you can see here, I have to pound away on these nests for a good while. Regular zombies, you don't really have to worry too much about. There's not a lot of them when you're being invaded. You know, you can take them out easy. You kill hundreds of these things during single player, so I mean, they're not really a problem. Even though this guy doesn't use spit, obviously I should cover it. If you get UV,
It's close now. Watch for movement.
that's the trickiest one in my opinion. When you get UV hit, you really just kind of want to. They say here he gets me really with a bad spawn. The game was being very generous with the spawns. But yeah, back to the UV spit. You're gonna want to pop a flare immediately, as soon as, because unless you just zapped him with the light and he gets you a spit by, you know, a lucky explosion or a lucky stick, he's gonna be going straight for you. So you want to pop a flare, and kind of wait it out. So have a couple flares ready. You really shouldn't have to worry about regular zombies during that, unless he also gets you with Horde. But the Horde one, you have two options. And I prefer the second one. But here, the first option is pop a flare and wait it out again. Have your flashlight ready because the exploding Horde zombies are vulnerable to light. They will immediately explode when UV hits them. The other option, which I prefer, because even though they'll explode from the UV light, sometimes they're close enough to start doing some damage, and a lucky one gets close enough. I prefer straight up running. And here's another thing. If you get UV'd and hoarded, I mean, chances are you're gonna die. But you want to pop a flare immediately, and you want to just kind of make a path for yourself with flares, kind of running. Because you have no flashlight, which means the only UV light that'll hit them is your flare ones. And like I said, the radius, when they explode, they can still get you. And you got to worry about him. So you kind of want to be on the move, have flares pop so he can't pounce you. You're faster than the Horde zombies, which means they won't be able to catch you, and most of them will be killed by the flares you're throwing. But that one really comes down to luck, whether or not you're going to survive if you get double spit. There's not much. That's my best thing I can tell you, is pop flares and run. But it really depends on their skill, luck of spawns of the Horde ones, that kind of thing. There's no real proper defense against that. Ground pound. Again, something this guy really doesn't do, but I need to talk about it. I wish I'd have found a match with someone that knew what they were doing a little bit better. We're a little higher level. A zombie that knows what they're doing. And in fact, this is my last on how to defend. I'll be doing 2 videos on how to properly invade someone. I'll show you. I'm a high level Night Hunter. I've played a good many matches against, you know, 1 person, 2 person, 3 person, all with victory. Not all with victory, but I've beaten every group. You know, I've beaten a group of 1, I've beaten a group of 2, so on. Every combination of people. And it can be done. So don't think, oh, I'm in a match with 2 people or 3 people and I'm gonna be done. And it's very doable. But I'll get to that when I'm playing as the Night Hunter. Let's stick to this here. Ground pound. A hunter that knows what he's doing, a human will never be able to get close to him. If they have ground pound, if they have the ability to move while ground pounding, if they have the aerial ground pound skills, you cannot kill them with melee. If they have all those skills, I'm sure they've practiced enough that they will keep you at bay. So you really want to keep them at either a right close up distance or far away. That's the human sweet spot, whereas the Night Hunters want to be at medium range. But I think I covered a good bit here and saw a victory here. So yeah, I hope you guys will check out how to properly invade. See you later.